Welcome back to the Chatting Average. John Lieber has been kicked off of intro duty because 2 weeks in a row he has screwed us over. So my name is Adam Busak, alongside John Sansoni. John Lieber, of course, is regrettably here as well, and we have some Major League Baseball to talk about, so let's do it.
Yerp.
Okay, let's go over to the show notes. Chatting titled
John makes the show notes. John and Adam typically make the show notes, and every time they make them these pun names that sound vaguely like the Chatting Average.
It's gotten worse and worse as we've gone along.
The first few were pretty close. Like, if you said them fast enough, you could get
months now, and there's only so many words that sound like chatting and so many words that sound like average.
Right. So now we kind of, I've resulted to just like, it sounds nothing alike, but kind of.
There was one that just said copy and paste.
That one was good.
Which is funny. This one I'm not gonna read out to you, but aardvark is the second word, and the first one is
what happens when you let one go that's a little wet.
It's an affliction that you may be stricken with after one too many bean and cheese burritos. And we'll leave it there.
One too many adult beverages, if you will.
Does that actually happen?
Yes.
And when was the last time you took performance-enhancing drugs?
What do you mean?
This is a deposition.
I'm clean, man. Look.
So let's get into the show, shall we?
Yeah. So what do we think? AL, NL, or interleague first?
Well, let's do the math, Jim. Sox won one game in the American League. Inherently, Colorado did not win a game in the National League. Braves won two. Where are the Braves at? All right, we're starting in the National League. John, is the music there? Yes? Okay. National League, the Phillies and the Cubs in beautiful Wrigley Field, or as in other words, you could describe Wrigley Field as a terrible building that should have gotten demolished in the Chicago Fire. Game 1, 4-0 win for the Chicago Cubs. Happ, Horner, and PCA and Birdie all have RBIs. Colin Rea, 5 innings pitched, 7 Ks. Game 2, 10-4 win for the Phillies. Phillies score 6 into the top of the 4th. Max Kepler, who's a Philly, has a home run in the game. Game 3, 3-1 win in 10 innings for Philadelphia. Philadelphia scores 2 in the top of the 10th. This was last night on Sunday Night Baseball. Nola goes 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 6 Ks. The New York Mets and the Washington Nationals, they might currently be playing. Game 4 is today, so the first 3 games we've got. Game 1, 5-4 win for the Washington Nationals. Bottom of the 9th, Jose Tena, RBI single, followed by a James Wood RBI single for the walk-off. Game 2, a 2-0 win for the New York Mets. Francisco Alvarez is the only man in the offense that night with a 2-run bomb. 8-7 win for the Nationals. They're up in the series currently, 8-7 win in Game 3. Washington scores 6 in the first 2 innings. Cruz is a home run. Riley Adams has a 3-run home run. Bottom of the 9th, Luis Garcia reaches on a throwing error, and Abrams scores on the walk-off. Game 4, John.
It starts in about 30 minutes.
Milwaukee and St. Louis. St. Louis takes game 1, 3-2. Newt, Donovan, and Gorman all have RBIs in that one. They win it. Game 2, a 6-5 win for the Cardinals. Top of the 9th, Chorio, 2-run home run to tie. And Arenado has the walk-off home run to take the series. Although Milwaukee does salvage game 3 with the 7-1 win, the offense shows up. Yelich, 2 RBIs. Terang, Contreras, Frelick, Hoskins, and Durbin all have an RBI. Cincinnati and Colorado in the beautiful city of Denver. And by beautiful city of Denver, I mean the beautiful city of Denver. 3-game sweep for the Cincinnati Reds. Game 1, an 8-7 win. Steer has a 2-run home run. Jordan Beck goes yard twice, and Cincinnati takes the lead in the top of the 7th on a bases-loaded walk. Game 2, 6-4 win for Cincinnati as well. Noelvi Marte with a 2-run shot. Toglia has a 2-run shot. Hayes goes yard. Amador goes yard, and Hayes does it again because, well, they're in Denver. Game 3, 8-1 win for Cincinnati. Noelvi Marte again with a good day, 3 RBIs. Hayes has 2 more RBIs on the weekend, and Lodolo goes 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, 9 Ks. Atlanta and Arizona. Atlanta takes the series here, John. Celebrate. 8-2 win for the Braves in Game 1. Riley with 2 RBIs, Eli White with 2 RBIs. Game 2, an 8-7 win for Atlanta. In 10 innings, Ozuna has a home run from the Braves. Murphy home run. Suarez, 4 home runs on the day, 5 RBIs, but in the top of the 10th, Atlanta scores on a wild pitch to win it. Game 3, though, a 6-4 win for the Snakes. Jerry Perdomo, a home run. He has 2 RBIs on the day. So does Naylor. And then the final series in the National League, Pittsburgh and the Dodgers. Game 1, a 3-0 win for Pittsburgh. Cruz, Valdez, Hayes all have RBIs. Skeens does it on the mound, 6.1 innings pitched, 5 hits, 9 Ks. Game 2, 8-4 win for the Dodgers. Cruz home run. Teoscar has an RBI double, a 9-2 double play in the top of the second. Cruz has a 2-run single. Otani triple. Freeman RBI single. Teoscar home run. Enrique Hernandez 3-run home run. Game 3, 9-2 win for the Dodgers. Kutch goes yard. Valdez goes yard. The Dodgers score 4 in the bottom of the first. Teoscar goes yard, and so does Andy Pages with the 2-run shot.
While John was reading that, we had some breaking news come across the wire, so I want to read this tweet verbatim for both of you. I want to get your reactions live as I read this tweet, and I quote, "The Rockies," this is from Rockies Club information, "The Rockies announced today that they have recalled right-handed pitcher Juan Mejia from AAA Albuquerque. Additionally, right-handed pitcher Bradley Blaylock was optioned to AAA following yesterday's game."
That's big.
Cool.
That's big for the club. You get an arm up from Albuquerque, someone who's used to pitching at altitude. Juan Mejia, I want to say, is taking Cal Quantrill's number, so he's the next pitcher to wear 47 for the Rockies. Young arm, still a little work to do. Obviously, you're going to want to rely on, your breaking balls aren't going to break as much. It's going to be interesting to see if he can keep a little foothold. But this is a pitching staff in flux in the Rockies.
I want to start by talking about the Braves and the Diamondbacks because this is the kind of series, and I'll let you have your space, John, but this is the kind of series that to me shows that Atlanta is starting to figure it out, right? This is a series that they should win. It's a series they do win. They look really good offensively, and a couple of games that they win. Obviously, you lose the getaway game, but Arizona is a very difficult team to sweep. They have a lot of offensive components that it's just really hard to shut down after a while. I think the Braves are starting to figure it out. I'm not as worried about them as I was this time last week.
Yeah, I want to talk about Saturday's game. Eugenio Suarez had 4 home runs.
Shut
That
up,
is
my
the
dog, bro.
second time in history, or in modern history, third time ever in recorded baseball history, that a player has hit 4 home runs and still lost a baseball game. The last time that happened, 1986, Bob Horner hit 4 home runs in a Braves game against the Montreal Expos.
The thing is about that is, like, if one guy is on base and 2 of those home runs, they're literally all solo shots. If at any point he had a home run with a guy on base, they probably would have won the game.
There's an old adage in baseball that solo shots will not win you a ball game, and this is very literal proof.
Yep.
You look at it, the only 2 other players on the Diamondbacks that got hits that day, Gabriel Moreno had 1 hit, and Alek Thomas had 2. And Alek Thomas hits after Eugenio Suarez. There was only 1 hit in the order that came before Eugenio Suarez. The entire game. So, on the Diamondbacks side, there's still life in the offense. if you can have someone that isn't a Eugenio Suarez, because he showed up in a flash there, but also over this weekend has had multiple errors on the hot corner. He doesn't provide you really 5 tools. He's got a couple on him, but it's not a complete skill set, and you can't rely on someone like that to be hot the entire time. You turn to the Braves side, it's starting to really turn around a little bit. You look at their most recent games that they've had. You take the series from Arizona, you take the series from St. Louis, you sweep the Twins the series before last. There are still bumps. They're still 12-15. They're still starting Bryce Elder. There's still, Spencer Schwellenbach has been a little tough on the run prevention side. Chris Sale is not the Cy Young winner he was last year. And the offense is getting to the point where today, the move they made this morning, they bring up Ian Anderson because they claimed him again from the Angels after the Angels DFA'd him, which tells you something about Ian Anderson right now. They optioned Jared Kelenic,
which was
which was very needed. The problem is they re-signed Eddie Rosario to take his place. This is 2025. 2025, not 4-5, Eddie Rosario. Last year he had a 531 OPS. This year he has 4 at-bats. There's nothing that's making you bring him back.
He was kind of washed when you guys acquired him in the first place in like 2021 or whatever that was.
Yes.
He was already kind of washed then, and then you've gone out and gotten him like 3 times since then, and he's gotten worse and worse and worse.
He had one good series, and it was the 2021 NLCS. That's it. That's it. It's been 4 years. I was in high school. I was a freshman in high school last time he was good.
Well, that's because you're like 6 years old right now, so.
Yeah.
6,
you were born
7
in like
years old.
2012, so.
John, I need you to stop using PEDs.
I know I should have worn short sleeves today.
What other series do we want to jump into here? Well, I'll tell you what. I'll quickly talk about this Rockies and Reds series, and I promise I won't mention the Rockies a single time. Is that okay?
You've just mentioned
go ahead.
Twice.
Austin Hayes had a very good series, but Austin Hayes is also having a very good year. Did he have a 2-home run game against the Rockies? Yes. Did he homer 3 times in the series? Also, yes. And some of that is due to the fact that the games were held at Coors Field, which is a hitter's ballpark. But also, Austin Hayes now plays his home games at Great American Ballpark, which is also a noted hitter's ballpark. In fact, some would say the second best hitter's ballpark in the country. Austin Hayes is not a flash-in-the-pan guy. He is legit good. He's been a major league starter for the last 5-10 years almost. This year, he has taken a step. I don't think he's changing fundamentally as a player. I think his ballpark has changed a lot. That's been a big factor for it. If he's somebody that's not on your radar in fantasy, put him there.
Because you think about where he's played before. The 2 years prior, he played at Camden Yards when he was an Oriole, and he played in Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia. This is vastly improved for him. I mean, you said it yourself. The two best hitters ballparks. So the one he just played at, and the one he plays at 81 out of 162 games.
Correct.
And I think this is what you expected from Austin Hayes. The Phillies didn't really get it from him because he had a kidney infection, I think, at the end of last year. Didn't really get to start in left field like they wanted him to, but now this was a great value add by the Reds, and the Reds offense, admittedly, it's against a team that Adam was told not to mention in that segment, but this is still, or he chose not to mention, right. This is showing you that they can still do it. This is what they were supposed to be doing. Noelvi Marte is starting to hit, which was the whole reason he took PEDs. last year.
Right.
John.
And while I can't personally address performance-enhancing drugs, I can say that this is a Reds team on the rise, and Adam, your Reds might actually start being good.
I believe in them. I believe in them. You know who else I believe in? Washington Nationals.
Yeah, actually, that's a good
out
point.
of 4 from New York Mets have the opportunity to take the 4th game and 3 out of 4 in the series today. But their offense looks legit, dude. The guys they needed to take a step were Dylan Cruz, or James Woods, and Cruz started very slowly, but he looks like he's arrived at being a good Major League Baseball player right now. Again, still don't think this is their year, but they're making some progress. They're getting somewhere.
John?
I agree. I mean, they, like you said, they take 2 of 3 of the first 3. They've got that 4th game later today. And I think it is kind of cool to kind of see them, like, show what they can do. Like, are they going to make the playoffs? There's an off chance. But, like, right now...
It would take some very good luck for them to make the playoffs. Right. I'll say that.
But right now, you've taken 2 of 3 from the team that's leading that division. So, pretty good work.
Let's say let's get to the junior circuit.
I'll say the junior circuit.
Yeah.
The American League sucks.
The Blue Jays
True.
and the Yankees. The 3-game set at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. Game 1, 4-2 win for Toronto. Vladdy home run, and top of the 9th, Alejandro Kirk, a 2 RBI double. Barger has an RBI single as well. Game 2 was postponed. So game 3, 11-2 win for the Yankees. Volpe home run, Jazz has 2 RBIs, Austin Wells has 3, and Cabrera has 2. Game 2, part 2, 5-1 win for the Yankees. Grisham goes yard, Santander goes yard, but Judge and Escara go yard as well, and the Yankees win. Houston and Kansas City, the Royals playing the Astros. Game 1, the Royals take it 2-0. Zach flies. They win ball games. Renfroe and Isbell each have 1. Lugo goes 8 innings, pitched 3 hits, 8 Ks. Game 2, again, a 2-0 win for Kansas City. Getting it done small ball wise, other than the fact that Pasquantino has a home run. That one just added an extra insurance run. Waka has 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 6 Ks. Game 3, though, Houston does salvage the series with the 7-3 win. Alvarez has a 3-run homer. Yainer Diaz has a homer, and Hunter Brown goes 6 innings pitched, 9 Ks. Thank you for that. The fantasy team really enjoyed that. We'll talk about that later. The Angels and Minnesota. Minnesota getting the sweep over the Angels, 11-4 win in game 1. Buxton home run. Larnach has a 3-run home run. Ohapi has a home run, and so does Trout. And that doesn't equate to much when you still lose 11-4. Game 2, a 5-1 win for Minnesota. Correa has 2 RBIs. France, Bright, and Lee each have an RBI of their own. Simeon Woods Richardson, 5.1 innings pitched, 4 hits, 7 Ks. Game 3, 5-0 win. France and Jeffers each have 2 RBIs. Ryan goes 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 11 strikeouts. The Chicago White Sox and the Athletics of athletic area of a part of the country that we're, I don't think, allowed to say. Game 1, the 6-5 win for the Athletics. Jacob Wilson goes yard, and the Athletics take a lead in the 7th, and Brooks Baldwin has a 2-run home run, but it's not enough for the White Sox to come out on top. Though in Game 2, a 10-3 win. The White Sox seem to have this one in them like once a weekend. 10 runs for the Sox, they get the win. Robert has a home run. Sox score 6 in the first 2 innings. Michael A. Taylor has 3 RBIs on the day. Game 3, a 3-2 extra innings finish win for the Athletics. Joshua Palacios has a home run for the Sox, but in the bottom of the 10th, Luis Arias hits a 2-run homer for the walk-off. Baltimore gets swept by Detroit. Game 1 is postponed, so Game 2 is a 4-3 win for Detroit. O'Hearn has a home run, and so does Torque. Game 1, Part 2, again, 6-2 win for Detroit. Green with a 3-run shot. I'm getting a phone call. Torque has 2 RBIs. Montero goes 4.1 innings pitched, 4 Ks, 1 earned run. Game 3, a 7-0 win for Detroit. Torres has 3 RBIs. Baez is back, I guess. He has 2 RBIs. Young and Dingler each have an RBI of their own. Boston and Cleveland playing a 3-game set, but it took them, well, they had to plan 4 games for it. Game 1 is postponed. How many times have we heard that one tonight? Game 2, 5-4 win for Cleveland. Willie Abreu has a 3-run shot. Cleveland scores 4 in the bottom of the first. Devers goes yard. Kwan has an RBI single in the bottom of the 6th for the lead. Game 1, Part 2, 7-3 win for Boston. Duran has 3 for 5, 2 RBIs. Devers, Bregman, Story, Refsnyder each have an RBI as well. And Game 3, a 13-3 win for the Red Sox. Refsnyder, Devers, home runs. Ceddanne Rafaela, a 3-run shot, and 5 RBIs on the day.
The Boston Red Sox started off the first month of the year hotter than any team in the entire, scope of Major League Baseball. And then they came hurtling back down to earth over the last couple of weeks. Their true talent level is somewhere in between being the best team in baseball and being a 500 ball club, which is right about where they're at right now. And I think taking 2 out of 3 over Cleveland shows that their mean level of talent is going to put them comfortably in the top half of ball clubs.
Yeah, this is a club that I am really high on. I feel like they, this is the part of the season where you separate, the wheat from the chaff here. You look at it as if they can rebound, and they're showing the signs of rebounding, that proves
Correct.
to be really good for their long-term potential this season, because
Correct.
this is a marathon. It's barely the end of April. If you want to be playing till October, you need to prove that you can get out of slumps. And this is, you're seeing production from everyone. Abreu, Devers, Bregman, Story, Rob Refsnyder, Ceddanne Rafaela. You're peppering it up and down the lineup. You're gonna end up seeing players. Masataka Yoshida is still in extended spring training. He could come back at some point, provide some more for that lineup. Connor Wong is rehabbing as well. This team is getting players back at the right time. In the words of Chip Carey, you're making a trade just by having someone come back from the injured list. It's like a move in and of itself, which annoyed me every time he said it for the Braves, because it'd be like Freddie Freeman's off the 10-day IL because of a shin injury or something. He'd be like, well, it's a trade. It's just like a trade. It's like, well, the Braves never traded at this point. But anyway, that's unrelated. The Athletics swept. Good news for my AL West agenda.
The Athletics were not swept.
No, they took the series. They took the series. I saw walk-off in the green, and I saw sweep underneath it in Detroit, and I just conflated the two. I wish they swept, but they didn't.
The Athletics take 2 out of 3 from the White Sox. I do want to quickly mention Jacob Wilson. Unfortunately, no longer walkless. Had a very great start to the season. Did not walk in 87 consecutive plate appearances to begin the year. He takes his first walk of the year in this series, and it is a bases-loaded walk, so he drives in a run. Congratulations to Mr. Jacob Wilson on the easiest RBI he has ever earned.
Wow. That's crazy.
Oh, my God.
I'll quickly hit on Kansas City.
Yeah.
I was high on this team going into the year. They didn't really look great over the first month or so. Houston has looked better than we expected them to over the first month or so. I think it's a good sign, again, for Kansas City to get back on track in this series. I think another very good sign for them is that Seth Lugo and Michael Wacha are the 2 pitchers that picked up wins in the series. Lugo goes 8 innings, Wacha goes 6 innings. Those were both guys that, for lack of a better term, kind of broke out for the Royals last year, right? They're both in their 30s, so a breakout maybe isn't the best term, but they had career years last year, and it looks, at least early on, like they're going to have a chance to repeat their successes. That's going to be key if Kansas City is a team that we are going to be monitoring for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like every show I bring up somehow how the Astros looked a lot better than we expected them to, and this week it is the opposite. They get beat by the Royals. The Royals are kind of finding their stride. I mean, they get 2 wins with scoring 2 runs, but like you said,
That means their pitching's. That means their pitching's good. I don't know what to tell you.
Exactly. So it's like, win however you want to win, as long as you win. It's 162 games. I'm not going to remember how you won 2 of them.
Win the games.
Shall
we move to interleague play, or do you guys have any final thoughts?
Let's go to the 3 interleague series.
I think they're called Serie. Tampa Bay sweeping the San Diego Padres. These 2 teams feel like they're the same team, just on different sides of the country, other than the fact that one of them spends money and one of them doesn't, and one has aura and one doesn't. But they do feel very similar. Tampa Bay does sweep the Padres, though. Game 1, a 1-0 win for Tampa Bay. Shane Baz goes 7 innings pitched, 4 hits, 6 Ks. Yandy Diaz has a sac fly in the top of the 3rd. Cameron Meisner has a game-ending 9-3 double play. I did it. I said his name correctly for once. Game 2, a 4-1 win for Tampa Bay. Brandon Lau, that might be low. Home run. Morel RBI. Tatis RBI. Chandler Simpson home run robbery in the bottom of the 7th. Did he say have a nice day? He might have. Game 3, 4-2 win for the Rays. Simpson 3 for 4 with an RBI. Taylor Walls home run. Miami and Seattle in a 3-game set, 8-4 win for Miami in the first game. Dylan Moore home run, Jesus Sanchez 2-run shot, and Agustin Ramirez also has a 2-run shot. Game 2 at 14. Count them on all of your fingers. Show them, Bus, all 14 fingers.
Yeah, math checks out.
14-run win for Seattle, and Miami just doesn't score. J-Rod has a home run. Polanco homers twice. Ben Williamson a 2-run double. Garver a 2-run home run. Luis Castillo goes 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, 5 Ks. Game 3, a 76 win for the Mariners. Logan Evans 5 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs, 3 Ks. Agustin Ramirez homers twice. The big dumper home run. J-Rod has a 2-run single. I don't know why there's question marks after things. Polanco RBI double. J.P. Crawford 2-run home run, and a Connor Norby 3-run home run. Texas and San Francisco Giants, the Los Gigantes de San Francisco. Game 1 win for Texas, 2-0. Langford an RBI double. Jock also has an RBI. He finally isn't hitless after 41 games or whatever it was. I don't know, 41 at-bats. 297 years. Game 2, a 3-2 win for San Francisco. Patrick Bailey, RBI single for a walk-off. Ray goes 7 innings pitched, 5 hits, 8 Ks. Game 3, 3-2 win for San Francisco. Semien, a 2-run double, a single. Christian Koss, an RBI single. Jock Peterson, triple. Again, what? And then Elliot Ramos, an infield single into an E1, into an E3, into a walk-off. He scored. He hit the ball, and then he scored, and the Giants won, and Oracle Park went insane. To be a team that was fun at playing a baseball game.
So I feel like I owe an explanation for the question marks. I put a question mark for every single thing I was confused about. And since I wrote all the IL, I was confused by a few things. One, Julio Rodriguez hit a 2-run single. What? Where did that go?
Was there men in motion? Did he think it was a bomb?
What I think, I don't know. I guess it might have just been like right down the line, bounced off the wall, and it was right at the right fielder, so he couldn't advance, but everyone else could.
Yeah.
Taylor Walls homer. Taylor Walls doesn't homer. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's against the rules. He's not allowed to do that.
He doesn't do that. All he does is have. I'm not gonna make that joke.
Yeah, political opinions.
Yeah, I was about to say, all he has is dubious whereabouts. Jock Peterson hitting a triple, he doesn't do that. I'm sorry.
No,
he's got
illegal.
If you look at the show, he has 3 speed, and it shows. He does not do that.
He doesn't do that.
Elliot Ramos, infield single, it goes to the pitcher, Luke Jackson. Luke Jackson almost falls over himself, throws it over the first baseman's head. Elliot Ramos, pretty fast, is just charging. First baseman Lamont Wade grabs it, throws it way offline. or not Lamont Wade. Was Ezekiel Duran? Someone. I don't remember exactly which players were involved in this. It was a mess. Oracle Park went wild, and I spent about 3 minutes trying to figure out how to write that down so John would accurately portray that to you guys.
Saw the clip too, so I knew what happened. Don't worry.
Let's play a fun game.
Yeah.
Okay.
This fun game is called Jock Peterson has played 12 years of Major League Baseball. How many triples has he hit?
One.
Probably one.
He's hit more than one.
Two.
Seven.
He has played 1,296 games of Major League Baseball, and he has 894 hits, and you think 2 of them were triples.
Well, he was a center fielder at one point. I could see him maybe doing that. But, he's slow now.
Over the course of his career, Jack Peterson has 18 career triples. His 162 game average, his per season average, is 2.
You know, I guess we always forget that he didn't used to always be fat. When he got into the league, he was an athletic center fielder.
Yeah,
let's look at his fielding charts.
60 pounds since then.
Yeah, he had 147 games in center field in 2015.
Oh.
The last time he played the field was in 2023.
What was his defensive WAR that season?
He had a 9. Someone's whistling down the hallway. Sorry. He had a 9.12 fielding percentage at left field in 32 games in 2023, and this is in Oracle Park left field, which is shorter.
In 2022, which is one of just 2 all-star years in his entire career. Jock Peterson's defensive WAR, again, playing in Oracle Park, playing in the short porch at Oracle Park in the outfield. His defensive WAR was negative 2.2. That's really bad.
It's abysmal. It is quite bad.
Welcome back, Dante Bichette.
Welcome back, Adam Busak.
Hello. I didn't leave.
Yeah, he didn't go anywhere. Agustin Ramirez, looks like he's for real. He looks he is for real. And I'm really mad that someone picked him up in fantasy about 10 minutes after I talked about him.
Oh, fantasy,
today.
you said.
Yeah, John beat me in fantasy by 60 points this weekend.
I beat Aiden O'Connor just because I'm a better Catholic than he is.
I think it's more
right. I'm throwing the gauntlet down. You heard me, Aiden. You heard me.
Probably hasn't looked at his team since he drafted.
Yeah, probably.
That is possible.
But Agustin Ramirez in 19 at bats, and he's been called up for 3 games. Can you? Don't show me that. I already know the score. In 19 at bats, a 474 average, 3 home runs, 5 RBIs, a 1682 OPS plus. This is they got this guy in the Jazz Chisholm trade, and this looks like, at least in 19 at bats, like a coup for the Marlins. This looks like a really good pickup for them, and it makes sense considering the value that Jazz Chisholm carried in that trade.
Agreed.
I agree. And he also plays first base in fantasy.
Huh?
I went 2 for 2 in fantasy this week, so I'm pretty much a genius.
I went 1 for 1. Or, I mean, yeah, 1 for 1. Yeah. I beat John Sansoni.
I went 0. I think 1 for 2.
And he said by 60 points, but I beat John by 93 points.
Okay, well, they didn't have to know that.
And I was the second highest scoring team after being the first highest scoring team last week, where I scored 512 points.
I need to activate J.J. Abrams from my injured list. So if anybody is interested in Carlos Santana, I'm looking to move
The
The director?
Star Wars director?
CJ.
Oh, that makes more sense. I activated Brenton Doyle from the IL today.
Oh,
About a
that's
month ago.
heavy.
I activated Pot of Greed to draw 3 additional cards from my deck.
Can we kill him?
Go to the grid. Go to the grid.
Okay, we're going to the grid, ladies and
What's
gentlemen.
the grid, John?
3x3 grid, 9 intersections. I've already got 5 of them filled out, guys. So, like, I just need y'all to, like, clutch up here.
I killed him with the Pot of
3x3.
Greed joke. Sorry, continue. Oh.
Row 1, the Bo Sox. Row 2, Los Gigantes de San Francisco. Row 3, the played in left field minimum of 1 game. Column 1, the Colorado Rockies. Column 2, the Milwaukee Brewers. And column 3, played right field, a minimum of 1 game. Now, I have some answers here, but Bus, can you give me a Rocky Red Sox?
A Rocky Red Sox. Let me put some thought into that. Start your list.
Which ones have you already done?
So for Red Sox Milwaukee, I have Jonathan Lucroy.
Mm-hmm.
For Red Sox played right field a minimum of 1 game, I have Franchi Cordero.
Ooh, true.
For San Francisco, Colorado, I have Kevin Pillar. For San Francisco Brewers, I have Drew Pomeranz. And for played right field a minimum of 1 game for the Giants, I have Tyler Austin.
All right.
So I need all the left field, and then I need a Red Sox Bosock. No, a Red Sox Rocky.
Sorry, so left field for the Brewers. Oh, I wish there was like
Avisail Garcia, but I don't think he ever played left field because of Yelich.
I have your Rockies Red Sox.
Go ahead.
The husband of noted college football analyst Laura Rutledge, Josh Rutledge.
0.4.
All right. What about, and this is a guy I haven't thought about in a while, for Brewers playing left field, Lewis Brinson.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that.
How is Lewis spelled?
He could, because he was in Milwaukee before they traded him to the Marlins.
All right, John. That one was 10%.
Was it actually?
No.
Oh my god. It's Lewis Brinson.
You guess how he got all scared?
Yeah, it's because I'm not juicing. Left field and right field.
Left field and right field. Any outfielder ever. I have one, I think.
Yeah?
I think I want to go with Adam Haseley.
Adam Hazley?
Is that how you say his last name?
I thought it was Hazley, yeah.
Okay, well, that guy. 0.02. Now we need a Colorado Rocky that has played left field. Bus?
I am
Bryant.
thinking about it. A Rocky that played left field.
Hunter Goodman.
I don't think that's a very good answer, respectfully.
Ryan Valade.
Did he play there?
He played corner outfield, right? That's kind of the thing. It's like he played first base and corner outfield.
The guy that I was thinking of is Steven Cardullo.
Oh, what about that one guy that was like in Albuquerque for like his whole career, and like the center fielder, he like got called up like it was really like
Wynton Bernard.
Yeah, Wynton Bernard. Yeah.
What do you want to?
Let me see if he ever played there before we go with him. I watched him play Major League Baseball in St. Louis, as a matter of fact.
Wow.
I saw Bobby Witt play Major League Baseball once.
I don't remember asking, to be honest with you.
I saw Albert Pujols play Major League Baseball once.
Watched the Braves lose to
Whitten Bernard
White
played
Sox.
1 game in left field as a Colorado Rocky. He played
Wow.
1 game in right field as a Colorado Rocky and 10 games in center field, and that was his entire major league career.
How does Whitten Bernard spelled?
Wynton.
I hate people.
Fair enough.
0.4. We have a rarity score of 5. 5. John, do you know how many people have played a minimum of 1 game in right field and left field?
No.
Thousands, probably. I mean, if you're a center fielder,
Put a number on it.
3,000.
Exact number, please.
3,212.
That's insane. How do you know that? Is it because you're juicing?
It's not 3,212. Come on now.
It is.
Is it actually?
Yeah, we just caught you in a lie. You think you're juicing. We think you're juicing.
not
You're definitely
juicing.
juicing.
I'm not.
You're juicing. You're juicing.
I'm not juicing.
You're Johnny Juicing.
Thanks for listening to the Batting Average.
It's actually 5,256, which is actually only 24 away from how tall Bus is right now.
What do we? That's correct. Thank you for listening to the Chatting Average. You can find us on YouTube. You can also find us on Spotify, perhaps even Apple Podcasts. Or if you would prefer to not listen to our podcast, you could find our tweets on Twitter or X.
Fantastic.
We are at TheChattingAVG. I run the account, but so does John, and also John. So just know that the only tweets that are good are the ones that I send out. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next week.
Wait.
Bye, everybody.
All right, bye.